Nothing's working right now. Business is slow. You want more listings, but you don't want to work with buyers. However, you need money. How are you able to say, I want to work with sellers, I want to work with buyers, but I don't have anything in the pipeline? Listen, that is the mistake. What's the mistake? The mistake is when I work with agents all the time, I don't care whether they're established agents, they're new agents, doesn't matter. Single agents, teams. The biggest challenge that agents have is they don't have a plan. And when they do, because I've worked with many agents and I help them develop a plan. And what kind of plan? A 90-day plan. Why? Because I learned from a guy named Vern Harnish. In Vern Harnish's book, Mastering the Rockefeller Habits, he says, you want to have a 5-year plan. Where do you want to be in the next 5 years, and what are you doing in the next 90 days to get there? That's really what you need to do. Is you have to have a 90-day plan that's aligned and vectored to where you're trying to go. And when you have that with absolute clarity on what you're responsible for, sky's the limit. Will you make failures? Yes. But in this video today, I'm going to teach you exactly how to engineer the right mindset, which I know people say that it's probably a little bit overused, but it's not. Because when I made this video in preparation, all I thought about was the people who were successful and the people that weren't, and why. And in today's video, I'm going to teach you what you can do to prevent being unsuccessful in real estate and how to increase your odds of being successful. And that's what we're going to cover. Hey everybody, my name is Michael Reese. I'm a real estate agent, a digital marketer, and a coach. And I teach real estate teams, agents, and brokers how to scale their businesses exponentially and help them build a business that works harder for them than they do for it. And we do that through social media, digital marketing, and content creation. And listen, we're trying to help agents attract more business instead of chase it so they can live their life by strategy instead of transaction. All right, now let's talk about the next 90 days. Let's talk about this plan. First of all, I'm going to walk you through some scenarios of real life scenarios of experiences I've had. And I'm not going to say anybody's name, so you don't have to worry about it, but I'm going to tell you true situations and what I took out of why was this gentleman so successful? Why did he do more business in 90 days than he did all last year? What made him different than that other agent who hasn't done anything? And I'll tell you what it is. Number one is the plan. It's not only having the plan, it's by understanding and having an agreement, not expectations. The number one mistake you can make is having expectations and not agreements. Here's what we have adopted. We have 100-0 mindset. 100-0 mindset basically is a mindset around accountability. It means that you're going to take 100% accountability of where you are and what works and doesn't work, and zero excuses. Let me tell you a little secret, guys. I've coached a lot of agents. I've never taken credit for their success because it's not my credit. It's their credit. They did the work. All I usually did is point them in a direction and help them make a decision that they maybe were unconsciously incompetent. They didn't even know that they should even be thinking about host beneficiary relationship. They didn't even know they should be considering an ISA. They wanted to hire an assistant, never thought that that could be a virtual person's job, might not be able to take on all those fixed expenses when they could have someone as a virtual assistant. They didn't understand the concept of fixed expenses, variable expenses, revenue generating. They weren't aware. So I just gave them awareness. And once they had awareness, they made decisions, and some of those decisions over time, their business grew. So number one is you can't have expectations. If you expect for someone to come drop business in your lap, I don't care where you are. If I partnered with you today, I can help you with the plan. You got to execute the plan. You got to tell me the truth that you don't have money. I can only make a plan based upon where you're at. If you have $0 and another person comes to me and they have $1,000 a month to spend, their plan is going to be different than yours. So you have to have a plan, and it's got to be realistic. You can't come to me and say, hey, Mike, listen, here's the thing. I would love to lose weight, but I love pizza and I hate working out. Do you have a diet that'll let me eat pizza and not work out but lose weight? Hell no, I don't have that. That's unrealistic. That's where you have a goal and your actions aren't parallel. You want to have a good plan? Here's what you need. One, it has to have an action. You have to have a plan of action. You have to have agreements. Don't have expectations. If somebody's helping you create the plan, get super clear. Do not leave the meeting without being clear. You're responsible for asking questions. You're responsible for saying, okay, let me recap. From what I understand, I need to make 4 hours of calls a day. Well, 4 hours of calls a day, that's not the result. The result is you need to speak to 34 people a day. And if that takes 4 hours or 2 hours, it's 34 contacts that equals 1 listing appointment. And you said you wanted 21 listing appointments. And that means 4 hours is just the activity, but it might take 6 hours. Well, I want to get listings, but I don't want to make calls. Well, then how much money do you have? Where are you going to invest your time? You can't have a goal and then not have the ability to make the sacrifice. So number 2 or 3, at this point, what is the sacrifice that you're willing to make over the next 90 days in order to make whatever it is you're trying to accomplish a reality. And are you willing to go 100-0 and take 100% responsibility, zero excuses, and do the work? That's the point. The point is you have to have a plan. You have to have the right mindset. Once you have a plan and the right mindset and you're truthful with yourself, meaning you're being 100% vulnerable, you're saying, okay, listen, Mike, you're right. I don't make 4 hours of calls a day. In fact, I go on realtor tours. I go to lunches. I drive around to do this. I'm actually doing that. When I looked at my calendar last week, which is called the Time of Your Life exercise, in fact, I only spent an hour doing revenue generating activities. If you're not doing revenue generating activities, if you don't know what these are, if you don't have KPIs, which are the daily activities that you're going to do that have a direct income or cause and effect relationship on your desired result, then that's where you start. Start with the plan. Now, number two, let's say you have a great plan, but you got no skill. We can have the best plan. We can make the phone ring. We can put you in front of a listing. We can get a buyer. But if you have no skills, if you are literally winging it, if you're what we would call as a pretender. Here's what a pretender is. A pretender, they think they're doing everything right. They are an actor. What is that, a Grammy? They win the Grammy, meaning you talk to them, you're like, man, you sound like you should be successful. You're saying everything right. No, you're not saying everything right. You're acting. You're saying exactly what it is that you've been saying and nothing's been getting you the result because you don't have a plan of action and you're not trained and you're not getting the results because you think you know what you know, but your results don't show that you know what you know. You know how many people read stuff in a book and they're like, oh, okay, I know that. Yeah, you know that. You know what you need to do to get in the best shape of your life, but you're not doing what you need to do to get in the best shape of your life. So the question is, do you have the skills? Can you articulate yourself on the phone? Can you actually spend money on marketing? Can you invest $1 into your business and get $3 out? Can you make your phone ring? Do you have follow-up campaigns? Do you have marketing skills? Do you have sales skills? What things right now, if we're creating a plan, what we're gonna do, the second thing is we're gonna create a training syllabus that's gonna align to that plan based upon where we feel you're not strong. Now that does not mean we're gonna make a plan based around your weaknesses. That'd be a bad plan. We're gonna make a plan based around what's going on in the marketplace, what are your strengths, what are your opportunities, what things we've seen work, what things are proven, not reinventing the wheel. And then at the end of the day, we're going to hand that to you and you're going to say, well, I don't know how to do that, or I'm not good at that. And then that's when the best thing about real estate, really the best thing about life, here's what it is. If you write anything down, write this down. Skills can be learned. Skills can be learned. If you have the skill set, you can be in any environment and find out someone's looking to buy or sell a house, and you'll know how to build a bridge, transition into a conversation, and turn that contact and conversation into a qualified opportunity. The same thing you have to be able to do online if it's a stranger. So the question is do you have a sales process? Do you have scripts? Do you have realistic expectations? Do you have that plan of action? And more importantly, are you still living off the narrative of the 3 things that didn't work? Really? Are you still living in the past, meaning you had something that didn't work, and so therefore you think, well, I had a bad lead. I made 83 calls and no one converted, so the lead sucked. Facebook doesn't work. Google doesn't work. No, it does work. What was your plan? Did you work the plan? Do we need to pivot or do we need to change something? Here's what I want everybody to know. If you ever do anything online and it works the first time, it's called a miracle. Nothing ever works the first time. But if you want to have a realistic plan and if you want to be able to build a plan, then you have to know that you're going to do things in the future that do not work, and it's nobody else's fault. There is a principle at play. There's success principles and there's failure principles. And you need to boil down to the universal truth. When something you plan doesn't work, you need to say, why doesn't this work? Where did I make a mistake? Here's the question. What could I have done differently? What could I have done differently? That's the question, because at that point, you're now in a position to take action, take ownership, account for this failure. And let me tell you a secret. In order to be successful in real estate, you have to fail. You're going to do things that don't work. So you either have that didn't work, so I'm one more step closer to finding something that does work. Here's the thing. What if you knew it was going to take 5 attempts to unlocking unlimited listings in your business? Would you want those 5 attempts to take 5 years, 2 years, 5 months, 4 weeks, 3 weeks? The goal in business is to fail fast. Failure is not a bad thing. If you have something that didn't work and then you stop because you had the wrong mindset, then you can plan to continue to fail because you're gonna have inaction, and inaction is the worst action. If you have a plan to action and it doesn't work, then you go back to the drawing board and you get the next 90 days. Now, in a good scenario, if you have a good plan, you're gonna go to a mentor and they're they're going to give you a proven plan based upon things that have already worked in the past, whether that's for them or in my situation. I've looked at 3 real estate agents' businesses yesterday for the day before, and I had 3 amazing takeaways this week on what people are doing, whether that's using Google Local, right, for their business. Oh, that's amazing. How does that work? Tell me more about it. That's the point. The point is that there's people out there that are already doing things and already have the things that you want. When you have a great mentor, they help you create a plan. They help you create a proven plan based upon things that they've actually seen work. So they reduce the failures. They increase the momentum and the motivation because they actually showed you, hey, here's what you could do. You could do this, this, and this. They help you be decisive. Oh, let's pick this one and this one. And here's the last thing that I want to talk to you guys about is they help you go fast. Here's the worst thing that you can do in your next 90 days is you move slow. That's the worst thing you can do. What you need to have is you need to have a plan. You have to know what you're going to sacrifice. You have to know what you're going to do every single day in regards to that plan. You have to have an effort metric, meaning what you're going to track that's in your control. You have to have the what can I do differently mindset, and you have to have 100-0, take 100% accountability, 0 excuses. When you do that, when you're fully trained, then your next 90 days will be monumental. I've grown my business in 90 days more than I did in an entire year. How? How did I do that? Well, I either invested in a better mentor, I stopped doing something that wasn't working, I found somebody else that was where I wanted to be and found out what they were doing and stopped doing the unproductive activities and replaced them with more productive activities, things that were increased productivity, right? But I can tell you, I could have all the knowledge in the world, but without action. And here's how you know when you got action figured out. You ready? This is the final thing. The final thing is your calendar. Does your calendar reflect your plan? Does it show exactly what you're supposed to do based upon the agreements, not the expectation, not, hey, why is everything not working? But hey, this is what I plan to do. Here's how I plan to do it. Here's what I'm willing to sacrifice to make it happen. I know I don't have any money to invest. I'm gonna have to invest time, but I have to first start with my skills. Here's where I'm going through the training. Once I'm done with the training, here's what I'm gonna do every single day. And then do you iterate on that every single 90 days? The most important thing in business is asking yourself, where do you wanna be in the next 5 years? And then what you're doing in the next 90 days to get there. And the best way to get there fast, is to go together, not by yourself. Find someone who's been where you wanna go and help them create a plan so you win before you start. Get really clear on what your agreements are, and then you execute. All right, listen, I wanted to say that and share that with you, but at the end of the day, just know this, that if it ain't this 90 days, if it's not the next 90 days, change will happen in an instant. It's going to happen in an instant. It's going to be your decision to change that takes a long time. So if you'd like to change your business fast, not slow, if you like to change it right now, then you got to realize one thing. There's something you have not learned. You have not learned something. All you are is one thing away from changing your business. The best thing I could teach you is if you wanted to get more listings, if you want to get more deals, then you got to learn online marketing. It's the best marketer that makes the most money. The best principle I would teach people is, let's start with the winning offer. A winning offer covers all sins. And the great thing about it is I put the top 3 offers working right now in a video, a short video. You can go to listingclass.com. If you haven't been there, the cool thing about it is we update it every 30 to 45 days. It goes over the best offers, whether you're in Virginia, whether you're in Tulsa, Portland, Florida, doesn't matter. It says what's working right now. Is it a condominium funnel in Las Vegas? Is a waterfront funnel in Tampa? Whatever it is, a 1 acre plus funnel in Oklahoma. What's the best offer you can be putting in the marketplace? Great question. If you want the answer, go to listingclass.com. There's a short little video. You can see the funnel, you can see the ads, you can see the copy, you can swipe them, deploy them into your business. We'll even show you how we'll help you build them out for you. Literally, we have a partner program where we do all that stuff for free. If that's of interest to you, then make sure you go to listingclass.com. And if you like this video, if it made you think a little bit, then make sure you hit that like button. And while you're down there, you might as well subscribe. You've watched a couple videos to this point. If you're gonna subscribe, turn on notifications so you know exactly when the new videos come out. And listen, the best life you can live is a life by strategy, not by transaction. The last thing you want to do is be hoping that you're going to have a good Christmas, hoping that you're going to be able to have that one deal close. Hope is not a strategy. Real estate is real fun to sell when you don't have to sell it. And it's a lot more fun to sell when you have more deals than you can handle, because then now you have to get other people to help you. And that creates more value in the marketplace. And when you do that, well, you build a business and it starts to work harder for you than you do for it. So until next time, remember, it's not just working in your business, it's working on your business.